What's up, everybody? Told you I would try to keep the videos coming, and I was asked recently about suicide and if I would touch on my experiences with that. I've been thinking about this one for a couple of days because it's been a while since I've had to actually have a conversation in detail about that part of my life. I mean, I don't have a problem talking about it. It's just that, I guess it's just things that you don't talk about if you don't have to talk about. So it's been a while since I've talked about it. But suicide is a very touchy subject, so I just want to make sure that I come across the right way when I'm talking about it. But I guess there's no wrong way if I'm telling my story. So, okay, let me see. I tried to commit suicide twice in my life, both during my teen years. None as an adult. I wouldn't as an adult. Life is definitely different, stressful, hard, different, but not worth me taking my life. I've definitely learned some things, so I wouldn't go that route. But as a kid, that was definitely something that was no question. I had no problem going right in. I believe the first time I tried, I think I was 12. And at that time, both my parents had already moved on. They were divorced, new lives, and I'm still this 12-year-old trying to figure out, how to make life work without my parents. So there was a lot going on in my life at 12. I mean, it had been a while since they had been divorced, but, at 12, it was just something about life being over, not having my mom, and the realization that, again, everybody has their own lives. So there was a lot going on for a 12-year-old, and putting sickle cell on top of that, it didn't make life any easier. Stress exacerbates sickle cell. It's just one of the things that will trigger it. And as a 12-year-old going through what I was going through, I was sick all the time. Actually, 12 is when I had my first major surgery. So 12 was a pretty big year for me. And I guess at the time, I mean, I really can't say what really was going through my mind at the time. I just know that whatever it was, it seemed so bad to me that it would have been better off not being here. That's all I really remember in detail about my thought process. Because I really don't remember much about what I was going through mentally. I mean, again, I know that there was a lot going on, and for a 12-year-old, you just think that your life is over when things don't go your way. So it could have been many things that triggered that moment, but it happened. We didn't have cell phones back in, my childhood, so you were just fortunate enough to have phone lines, and we had 3 phone lines. The house line, my brother's room, and my room. We thought we were cool because we had our own house phone numbers, We'd get calls all hours if we wanted to. We thought we were so cool. But we had our own phone lines, and so I don't even remember the time of day it was. I know it was midday. Must have been either after school in the evening. But I know I took a bunch of my pain pills. I've been self-medicating since I was 3 or 4. My dad told me. I'm very good when it comes to keeping up with what I used to be. Now I just don't care, but I'm pretty good for the most part at keeping up with what I need to have and what I need to take when I need to take it. So my pills were in my possession, and I think it was like half the bottle. And I was ready. I was laid in my bed and I was good to go. Somewhere in there, I must have got scared or nervous. Or I mean, I know I started dozing off. I was really sleepy. I called my best friend, Nicole. She was able to call my brother in his room, and he was able to come into my room and I guess, you know, save me and call 911 and all of those good things. And that's what happened, you know. I got a stern talking to, young lady, don't do that again. We trust you with your medicine. You know better. And move on with my life. And that's what I did. You know, so time just kind of went on. I don't think anything got better. I just think I got good at hiding it. And I think the second time, I had to be 16. I want to say I was 16. And we were in Hawaii. First time I was in Alabama. The second time I was in Hawaii, I was 16. And, oh, life was really just the worst thing ever. We had moved from Alabama to Hawaii. I was on an island. None of my friends, none of my family. Just me, my brother, my dad, and his wife. That was it. It was the worst time of my life. And I still wanted my mom. So, oh my goodness. Life was just really bad for me. In a 16-year-old's mind, of course. I don't really remember what triggered this one either. But I do know that I was into it with my stepmom. I do know I have been getting in a lot of trouble. And again, it could have been a number of things that triggered it. But when it happened, it happened. Again, I took more of my pills. But this time, I was on a military base. And I kid you not, 911 told me they couldn't help me. You just don't understand how. You stop it, Lucky. You just don't understand how confused I was when I called and 911 told me that they couldn't help me. I had to call the military police. But I'm like damn near passed out on the floor and shit. My dad and his wife is downstairs. And I'm on the phone with 911 and they're telling me they can't help me. So I said, fuck it. I hung up the phone and I laid back down. Well, I guess they were obligated to call the MPs. And the MPs came to the house. And I remember hearing the doorbell ring. I remember the mumbling of my dad talking to the MPs. And then I remember them coming upstairs and getting me. I remember them making me walk around the ambulance to try to keep me awake. They gave me some more charcoal. They gave me charcoal the first time. You would have thought I learned my lesson, but I guess I hadn't at the time. Charcoal is the worst. If you're gonna kill yourself, don't do it with pills. Oh my goodness, there's like a piece of hair on my eye and it's killing me. I'm so sorry. But yeah, if you're going to try to kill yourself, don't do it with pills. Because if you don't kill yourself and you survive, you have to go through the most horrible things to get you better. And charcoal, like when I say charcoal, I mean real charcoal. Black, thick charcoal turned into liquid. Ugh, it was disgusting. Thick. It was charcoal. You're drinking charcoal. The stuff that you barbecue with, yeah, you're drinking charcoal. Same type of thing. but you throw it up and it gets all the medicine out. And I think they gave me Epicac when I was in the house, and then they gave me charcoal when I got to the hospital. First time and second time. But they walked me around the ambulance, and eventually they put me in the ambulance, and they took me to the hospital. And this time, no, there was no stern talking to. This was, we're going to commit her into the mental hospital because this is her second time, and if she does it a third time, she's going to succeed. So, off to the mental hospital I go. No mental hospital is cool. I understand that. But I'm saying, I was in a mental hospital in Hawaii. Palm trees, sunny, green grass. We played volleyball. We swim in the pool at night with the lights on. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. It was like mini jail. You had to go there. You had to go through, stand in this padded room for 24 hours. It was nothing but a bed and this little teeny tiny window all the way up in the ceiling. You had to think about what it is that you've done that landed you in the mental hospital. You know, it was called Kahi Mohala. And you had to think about what you did for those 24 hours. Then after 24 hours, you get to work yourself up into being in general population with the rest of the kids. But you had to go through therapy sessions. You went to NA classes, AA classes, all types of things. Group therapy, one-on-one therapy, all types of stuff. You know, it was a bunch of different walks of life there. But we were all there for the same reason, because at some point we've all tried to kill ourselves. So, you know, you move up in ranks, and if you do something wrong, you get demoted. You know, you got your crazies, you got your room, you got your padded room that you're going to when you get in trouble or you're freaking out. You know, they shoot you up with medicine, like the whole nine. Like, it was a real mental house, but it was just on pretty land. But I've learned, I've grown. I definitely wouldn't, I can't even say I definitely, I mean, I know right now today in my space, trying to commit suicide isn't a way out, and it's not going to help anything. It's not going to, you know, make anything better. It's just going to make more people hurt. I wouldn't do that. I have a family. Just a lot of things that I've learned in life and that I've accepted, and this is life. I do have a strong sympathy for those who have lost people to suicide. To them, they felt that that was a way out. You don't understand it unless you're there, unless you've been in that space. To some, it's a way out. And to them, whatever it is that bad that they can't deal. And it's just for someone to believe that and to understand that. Having sickle cell plays a big deal, a big part in what was going on in my life also, because I was sick. I think up until I hit my 20s, I was in the hospital every 2 weeks, every month. Clockwork. My life was just living in the hospital. So my life was definitely not what it was cracked up to be from the outside looking in. I was a happy-go-lucky child. But on the inside, I was sheltered. I was sick all the time. I was missing things in my life. Mentally, I was a mess. I was a nut job. I still am. I just understand that now, and I've embraced my nuttiness. And I'm okay with my nuttiness, you know, but as a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old, you don't understand life. We all need someone to talk to. If you've ever been in that space, if your brain even thinks that it's going to take you to that space, talk to somebody, you know, call somebody. A hotline, a doctor, a friend, anybody. Well, not anybody, because some people don't even give a fuck about you at all, but there's somebody who loves you enough that'll sit there and talk to you if you find yourself in that space. Hell, call me. Everybody else does. I don't have a problem with that. I'm good at it, you know. But don't let whatever has you in that space take you that far. It's never that bad. Like, you might think it is, but in the reality that we all see, it's not that bad. So, that's my story. Those are my stories of my piece dealing with suicide attempts. I'm still here. I'm blessed. I love life. Regardless of my sickle cell or not, I love my life. I love life in general. I love the people in life. Like, I'm just a happy person. I'm here. I mean, you know, I really don't have much to complain about. So, you know, I'm good. I wouldn't go that route anymore. I know that there's alternative routes that I can go. So, those are my stories, and I hope in some way they've helped you or answered your questions or whatever it was that, you know, you were looking for. But that's me. There you go. Tootie in a nutshell. Love you.